Car brands are like people. Sometimes they're legends, sometimes they're a hot mess. Ever wonder what's the best and worst that each major brand has coughed up? I mean, Ford gave us the Mustang, but also the Pinto, so, balance. Today we're exposing the hits and flops of 5 big brands: Ford, Toyota, Chevy, BMW, and Mazda. The peaks that made history, the pits that made us question their sanity. We've got some flops you've never heard of, and a few cars that might make you laugh or cry. Let's dig in and try not to crash. First up, we got Ford and their golden child, the Mustang. Launched in '64, it birthed the pony car craze. 289 V8, 271 horses in the early ones, 0 to 60 in under 7 seconds, fast for the time. Over 10 million sold across 6 generations, still kicking today with 486 horses in the GT. It's the car that made every teenager dream of burnouts. People still argue that it's the only Ford that even matters. Dealers can't keep the Mach 1 on lots. Iconic doesn't even cover it. It's the car you'd take to prom, if prom had a drag strip. Then there's the Pinto. Ford's 70 subcompact, 1.6 liter, 4-cylinder, 54 horsepower, 3 million sold. Cheap, sure, but also a fire hazard. Rear-end collisions made the fuel tank explode. Lawsuits piled up, 27 deaths linked. Ford knew it, didn't fix it, and they thought payouts were cheaper than recalls. They were probably right. It's been roasted for decades as the car that turned tailgaters into toast. It's the poster child for what were they thinking? Pinto, because nothing says budget like a car that might budget your life. Next up, we have Toyota, with their breadwinner, the Corolla. Since '66, it's the best-selling nameplate ever, 50 million sold globally. Early ones had a 1.1 liter 4-cylinder, 60 horses. Humble. Now, 2.0 liter, 169 horses in the GR Sport, still under 30 grand. Reliable, cheap, and boring in a good way. Your grandma's car that'll outlive us all. Owners joke they don't die, they just get new tires. It's the gold standard for it just works. Then we have Toyota's dark secret, the Cavalier, a rebadged Chevy Cavalier for Japan, part of a GM Toyota deal. 2.4 liter 4-cylinder, 150 horses, sold maybe 20k units. It was a Chevy in a Toyota badge. Cheap plastics, rattly ride, nothing remotely Toyota about it. Japanese buyers sniffed the scam, sales tanked. It's been called Toyota's midlife crisis that they don't talk about. Obscure, yes, but a betrayal of Toyota's rap. Next up, we have Chevy with their pride, the Corvette. Since '53, it's America's sports car. First gen had a 150 horsepower 6-cylinder. Meh. Now, the CA Stingray, mid-engine, 495 horses, 0 to 60 in 2.9 seconds, and it starts at 60 grand. Over 1.8 million sold across 8 gens. It's the blue-collar dream. Ferrari speed with Chevy price. Gearheads argue that the C8's the best vet yet. Go ahead, fight about it. It's a car that keeps Chevy cool. Corvette, because Chevy said, we can do supercars on a budget. Flipping the tables, we have Chevy's disaster, the Vega, a 70s compact, 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, 90 horses, 2 million sold. Sounds fine, right? Nope. Aluminum engine block warped, and it rusted faster than you could park it. Oil leaks galore. GM lost $2 billion on it. Adjusted, that's $12 billion today. Mechanics still talk about it like a nightmare they can't unsee. It's a legend for all the wrong reasons. Vega, the car that rusted before you parked it and then caught fire for fun. Next up, BMW. And if there's any car that could be called BMW's peak, it's definitely the E30 M3. The first M3 ever with a 2.3 liter 4-cylinder, under 92 horses and 0 to 60 in 6.9 seconds. Only 18k made, now a collector's gem. Some fetch over 100k. It dominated touring car racing and it set the bar for sports sedans. Fans still say it's BMW before they got soft. Pure and analog, a driver's dream. E30 M3, the car that made BMW fans say, they'll never top this. Spoiler, they didn't. From the highest of highs come the lowest of lows, namely the E65 7 Series, a 4.4 liter V8 with 325 horses, a luxury flagship, but that design, the bangle butt rear, iDrive system that confused everyone, think 700 functions, no manual. It sold 340k, but fans hated it. It's still dragged as the spaceship BMW made ugly. It's the black sheep of BMW's lineup. E65 7 Series, proof that even BMW can make a car that BMW fans can't love. Last, we have Mazda with the MX-5 Miata. Since '89, they've sold over 1.2 million. the most produced two-seater in history. The first gen had a 1.6-liter four-cylinder, 116 horses, and did 0 to 60 in 8 seconds. Now, 181 horses, and it's still under 30 grand. Lightweight, tossable, pure joy. Every car guy's first love. They say Miata is always the answer, and they're not wrong. It's Mazda's happy place. Miata, the car that makes you smile, even when you're stuck in traffic. Mazda's Face Palm, the Laputa, also featured in my last video. A key car SUV, 660cc 3-cylinder, 52 horses, and it sold maybe 10k in Japan. Cute, practical, until you translate the name. In Spanish, Laputa means... Mazda yanked it from Latin markets, and it's been a joke in car culture ever since. It's been laughed at as Mazda's bilingual disaster. It's a flop that keeps on giving. Laputa, because nothing says family car like a name that gets you slapped. So every brand's got its hero and its zero. Ford's Mustang and Pinto, Toyota's Corolla and Cavalier, Chevy's Corvette and Vega, BMW's E30 and E65, Mazda's Miata and Laputa, peaks and pits. Car makers are a roller coaster. What's your brand's best and worst? Drop it below. I'll read while pretending I can afford an E30. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much, and please consider subscribing. Later.